welcome to my channel. Let's take some time to talk about the career guidance and introspection. The new trend of career counselors around must be definitely creating a confusion and a big question in you. Why the career counselors when we have parents, well wishers all around, right? The answer is definitely and yes, they are indeed needed to guide you in the right direction, to help you understand yourself better, to explore yourself and get into a career that definitely is going to satisfy you in the long run. How? Let's take a look at it. Through the series of videos, I will let you know the importance of career counseling and the various psychometric tools that are readily available today for the assessments and how this assessment is going to help you in shaping up your career in a better way. So let's talk about why career counseling. Why do we need counseling? We have parents whose experience can definitely help in the child's career selection process, and on the other hand, we also know that it might definitely hinder some time. But how will it hinder? Parents are always confident that their experiences that they've had so far will definitely help their child in shaping up their career. They feel that the world that they have seen in their eyes, the experience that they've had in their life, will definitely not be anything that is bad for their child. But the world around has changed a lot. The job opportunities that were there earlier are no longer there, and there are a lot of job opportunities which have come up in these days, which are going to definitely boost your career, which most of us actually hardly know about. So, a career counselor with you will definitely help you identify the strengths, weaknesses, and the career counselor will help you set your goals, clear all your confusions, focus on helping one's understanding. That is, you should be able to understand your own self before you actually figure out what is best for you. So, you never know who you are without you questioning yourself about it, right? Self branding. So when I say self branding, you the people around you might not know about you. They might know that you are a son of so and so person, you are a daughter of so and so person, but do you have a branding of your own? Do you represent yourself when you go out, or a child of so and so parent? That's more important. So let's also look into the various career opportunities that are available in the market, that are going to be in trend in the coming future during these pandemic days and post pandemic. So now when a particular person is getting a career advice to a student, to a child, can come from family and friends. Family and friends might tell you, hey, Sharma's uncle's son chose this career and he's earning in lakhs. He might very soon go to the US and he's definitely going to get a green card. Why don't you try? Teachers come and they might say, this is a very interesting subject and a career in this stream is definitely going to get you a well paid job. Go for it, and you're influenced, but you will definitely have a question here. Friends will come and say, hey, I feel this is definitely the best for you. Go for it. But at the end of the day, when you question yourself, are you happy with the decision or the choice that you've actually made? Question yourself again. If you need an answer, you should explore yourself and reach out to the right person. Before we actually proceed introspecting about the various career options, let's just look at the jar of life. I am not very sure if you've come across this sometime or any time in your career or in your life, but this is definitely going to influence you. The jar of life, the various motivators and the influencers, it may be for a student or anybody in person. Now, what is actually important to prioritize, what is not important? So let's take a look at it. There was this well known professor in a particular university who wanted to tell his students about the importance of prioritizing. So he took an empty jar and he took four different objects, which was some sand, big stones, small pebbles, and some water. What did he actually do with all the four objects and a big empty jar? Let's look at it. To the empty jar, he first kept all the big stones that he had. Now, he asked the students if there was some place left in the jar to put in the small pebbles that he had. The students said, "Yes, there is some space, sir." So now the professor started filling up the jar with the small pebbles that he had. Now he again questioned the students. "Students, is there any more room left for the sand that I have here?" The students thought for a while and they said, "No, sir, the jar seems to be full." But when he tried to pour in the sand from the sides, he could still accommodate some amount of sand in the jar. Now he took the glass of water. He asked students again, "Can I pour the water into the glass of jar now?" The students in unison said, "Yes, sir, you can." Now, when university's professor started pouring in the water also could be accommodated in the jar. Now, the professor started doing this in the reverse order. What if I fill the jar first with all the sand that I have? Will I be able to make enough room for the rocks and the pebbles? Definitely no, right? So, if we apply the same principle to the life, to our life, how would you feel and what is it that each one of this represents? Now, if I consider the big pebbles, the big stones, big rocks as our well wishers. It may be our friends, our family, and all the well wishers who are actually wanting something good to happen in our lives. The small pebbles might be other small stuff, but that is not too very important to me. Something like going to school, yes, to certain extent, going to school, all that is still important, but not as much as your well wishers, your parents, your family, and all of that, right? And then when I pour in the sand here, the sand may be other materialistic influences that we have in our life, like the luxurious car, a big house, all that we want, without which we can actually live a life, live a better life. And if I consider water to be all the negative energy that I have around me, maybe the negative thoughts that come in from people, or anything that is happening around which is not too very good for you and your career. If you fill the jar in the right direction, if you prioritize your choices, practice self care, spend quality time with people you love, and the rest is just pebbles, sand, and water, they will definitely find some place and make your life a better place to live. Now, when we speak about the role of parents, these days parents have actually given a lot of freedom to their children. They want to be a friend, they want to be a philosopher, they want to be a guide. But with all the independence and freedom the child is getting in trying to take the decisions of their own, with all the impact that we've got from the Western culture or whatever it is around us, how are we as parents or how are they as students or children able to take in the information that they're going to see around? Is it helping them? Is it making them to choose the right career option? Is it going to give them the career satisfaction? That is something to be questioned. The effects of career decision making. So, when we speak of career decision making, what is all that is coming in our way? Personal preferences? Yes, I want to be a doctor since childhood. But can I be a doctor? That is something you should question yourself. Media. We see a lot on social media, we see a lot on the TV, we read a lot about every other thing that we see around in the newspaper. But how is all the information that we're seeing or that we're looking around is actually making an influence on us? The role models. I was watching cricket since I was a child. I wanted to be Sachin Tendulkar. I am definitely going to be Sachin Tendulkar. But is that the right career choice for me? Family preferences. Most of my family members are engineers. You should also be an engineer for sure. Is that the right way of deciding the career for your child? All these are definitely the questions that we're going to answer in the coming videos. But before that, question yourself, take a pause, sit quietly, and think what's best for you. And here I'm signing off for today. Thank you. You can definitely reach out to me at the email or visit the website pavingway.edumilestones.com. Thank you.